Welcome back to Rip's Garage. Today we're continuing on the Gemini wiring. Enjoy. Alright, now it's time to tackle the wiring under the dash here. You can see there's a lot of wiring, it just bundled up. I think a lot of it's going to be for that stereo system and the alarm system, so we can just get rid of that and we'll see where the factory looms go and tidy it all up. Okay, so that's part of the wires there. I'll put them up here on the seat so you can see what I've pulled out. So, that there was a relay for the alarm system, and that's the inside loom for the alarm system. You got an earth, and that's the alarm light that would flash when you're active. So that's it. The entire alarm system's out now. Alright, now we discussed these. They're for the temperature gauge, which is just there, and then these wires here are for the tachometer. We'll probably change that out to a smaller one and maybe try and fit it into the dash, possibly remove that clock. I'm not sure. I'll figure that one out later on. But that does definitely tidy this up a lot. This can plug back up into here, and we've just got to cover up all of these little joins and splices and little things like that. I think we'll actually cut out and put proper crimp terminals and connectors in. There we go, under the dash almost done. I've put a hole saw down there inside the inner part of the car panel, just to make sure I've got enough room to put a hole in there and slide the grommet through. And on this side I'm trying to figure out how far down it's going to go. You've got sort of like these changes in the panel geometry. There's a bump here, so I can sort of go off that, but it's hard to get an exact measurement. And because right underneath that hole saw is the fuse box, I really don't have much room to work with, so I don't want to get it wrong. So what I'm going to do is measure up from the top of that hole saw, so about there, to the top of the guard. What have we got? That's maybe 44, and roughly, I don't know, 5 degrees angle. So then if we go, a bit hard to tell because of the sun, probably about there. I'll put the camera down and make a marking, and that'll be the top of the hole. So there's my marking that I got from the ruler. So if I put that maybe a little bit higher, just so I definitely clear the fuse box. That'll be the center of the hole. And there we go, I'll drill that out. Fingers crossed, we'll see how we go. So that's the inside loom there. and just, you can see the corner of the actual fuse box, just in there. So that's what I was trying to avoid hitting, but I still wanted to get the hole on this relatively flat part of the panel so that we got a good seal all the way around. Alright, we'll pull the cable through and we'll see how we go. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a red wire here that this is looped around. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to extend these, this loom if you need to get a bit of extra distance for it to reach. The first step is to cut the loom where you want to stick the connector. Try and stagger your cuts so they're not all in the same spot, otherwise it'll be a big bunch when you wrap it up. You're going to need a couple of pieces of heat shrink, 4 per cut, and you're going to need 2 connectors. So basically you cut the wire, slide on a bit of heat shrink, strip the wire, stick the connector on, and you pinch it and you'll feel it. Takes a bit of force, but you'll feel when it crimps. It's a good idea to crimp the plastic as well. The reason why I do that is because I like to then cut the corner. Cut this one here. I like to cut the corner off the plastic, and that then helps the heat shrink slide over it. So you slide your heat shrink up, get a lighter and shrink it down. So we'll do that on this end, we'll do it on that end of the wire, and then we'll grab one of our loose wires and we'll put them both in with heat shrink on those as well. So I'll fast forward through the next step because it's pretty tedious. Don't forget, the thing that makes this go much easier, nice beard. So now what I'm going to try and do is get the grommet back in there and pass the wires up through from the bottom and see if they'll fit into the headlight and the indicator hole. So the headlight's in. That was the hole for the indicator, but we're not going to use that anymore because the indicator wires now come through under here. Here's one of them. And that's the horn wire, which will pass back up through that hole. That'll come up through there. And that just attaches to the horn right there. So we'll probably pass that through here and hook it on. And under here we've got these two go to the guard, to the indicators. Might have to lengthen that one or undo this winding and pull a bit more out. And you've got this clip here that joins that, and that's the front marker lights. You can see now we've got a lot of excess loom which we can tack up here. So there's going to be a lot of extra loom there that we could move around. So our next job is to try and figure out how to mount all those relays under here so they're out of the weather. So I've decided to make a bit of a box, or really just a flat panel with some bent in edges to mount those relays to, and I'll tuck that up in under the guard. So we'll cut this out and then bend those edges up. So there's the last piece of the puzzle. Now I'm either going to mount it up like that inside there, where it should be pretty sheltered from weather, or I might end up mounting it under here. But if I do that, I'll have to put another cover underneath because the wheel's going to flick up some water. So in the interest of doing as little work as possible, I'll probably just build some brackets and pop it up here somewhere. And as long as it's within that sort of outline of the headlight, it should fit well within the guard. And if water does happen to get in there, which I don't think it will, it'll just drain down the bottom, and it's mounted with the plugs facing down, so water shouldn't be able to get up inside there. There we go.